Hello friends, I am Prithviraj Singh and I again warmly welcome you to my channel Physimatics. Today we will describe motion and time part 2. As I had said, it is a very long chapter. I have divided it into two parts. First part's link is in the description, and this is the second part of the motion time for class 9. We are starting now. Today we will discuss about graphs. What are graphs? Graphs is a very powerful method to represent or presenting any information. Or graph is mainly used to relate two quantities or to show the dependence of one quantity over another. Okay? Today we will learn how to plot graphs. There are three types of graphs. First is distance time graph. Second is displacement time graph, and third one is velocity time graph. But here is the fourth one type, which is speed time graph. Speed time graph. There are four types of graphs. First one is distance time graph, second one is displacement time graph, third one is speed time graph, and fourth one is velocity time graph. Okay, now we will discuss all these one by one in detail. Firstly, we will discuss about distance time graph. Mainly in graphs, we draw two perpendicular lines intersecting at a point and then choose the axis. Then choose the scale, plot the points and joining the points. Okay. Now we will describe all these type and all these methods to draw or plot a graph one by one. Firstly, I have a scale and I will draw two perpendicular lines as I said. Okay, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay, this is the origin point and I am saying to you that which one quantity will be plotted in the x-axis and which one quantity will be plotted in the y-axis. Means the quantity we plot on x-axis will be independent quantity. Means it can change independently. Means for example, we can take time. Time is an independent quantity. It does not depend upon distance or anything displacement. Okay. Now here we plot time in x-axis and I am writing s for distance. Okay, I have plot distance in y-axis and time in x-axis because time is independent quantity and distance is the quantity that depends upon time. I am equally dividing in these into each sections, each of 1 second. Okay, Here we will plot distance time graph. These are in meter and these are in second. Okay. Now if a journey is plotted like this, I am using the scale. Okay, here. Then see that we can calculate this as uniform speed. Means the speed, if the slope of the distance time graph will be a straight line like this, then if we calculate its speed or speed of the journey, it will be uniform speed. Means the object is in uniform speed in the whole journey. I am calculating, this will be the proof. In first second 5, okay, second, third second it is here, and from, okay, fourth second, from distance time graph we can conclude instantaneous speed of any journey, which means in second what was its speed, and in the fifth second what was its speed. This is the benefit of graphs. Okay, now we will calculate that 1 second 5 meters, 2 second 10 meters. As per the equation to calculate speed distance per time, we can calculate the uniform speed of 5 meter per second for this journey. Yes or no? Okay. So we have seen that if the slope of distance time graph is a straight line like this, then it will travel in uniform speed. Okay. And the slope of distance time graph gives the magnitude of speed. Okay. Now we have learned calculating speed from distance time graph, and we know that what is distance time graph. This was for uniform speed. If the particle is in rest, means with time its position is not changing, which means like this. I am writing t for time and s for distance. Okay. If the slope of distance time graph is parallel to the time axis, which means with time its position is not changing. Okay. If here the value is 10 meters, then in fifth second this is also in 10 meter, its position is plus 10 meters. In second its position is also 10 meters, means its position is not changing with time, it is in rest. And if we are traveling with non-uniform speed, it can be like 1 minute. Okay, it can be like this, something curved and bented in the line. Then we will come to displacement time graph. Displacement time graph is also somewhat same like distance time graph. Displacement time graph. Okay, this is displacement time graph. S is for denoting displacement and T is for denoting time. Now, if an object is in rest, means its displacement is not changing. Okay, magnitude is 0, it is another thing, but its position is not changing like this. Then if the slope of displacement time graph is also parallel with time axis, then we consider that, or we conclude that the object is in rest. The object is in state of rest. Okay, first case was that. And if suppose you go every morning to a morning walk of 2 kilometers, okay, suppose that 2 kilometer is here, then you go to 2 kilometers with uniform velocity, suppose that, and when you come home and complete your journey, your displacement time will be like this. Then your initial position was at home and the final position was also at home, means that both positions are same, so displacement is 0. Okay, means plus 2 meter plus 2 kilometer was there, sorry, plus 2 kilometer plus, it is in minus direction, first direction positive and second direction negative. Okay, minus 2 kilometer, then it will be plus 2 kilometer minus 2 kilometer, that will be 0 kilometer. So, and the displacement has direction, it can also be in negative. I am coming to that case. Now see, if you go to 2 meters, okay, then come to the initial position and in the initial position direction, okay, means you starting in positive direction, going to 2 meters and then coming in or returning in negative direction, and you did not stop at your initial position, you started going like this. Okay, then we have to draw the graph like this. Okay, we have to draw the graph like this. This will be the positive side and this will be the negative side. Okay, then what will be the displacement? Suppose here the value is 2 meter and here also the value was 2 meter. You go 2 meters in positive direction and you are going in negative direction 2 meters. Okay, your displacement is 0 here at the point, at this point, and then you started going in the negative direction for 2 meters, then your displacement will be minus 2 meter. Okay, we can also calculate velocity through displacement time graph. The slope of displacement time graph gives velocity as the slope of distance time graph gave us the magnitude of speed. Okay, now we will see velocity time graph or speed time graph. For velocity time graph, I will write the symbol V for denoting speed or and that both. This is velocity time graph. Okay, velocity time graph. Here is y axis and here is x axis, which is t time and v velocity. Now if you go through the whole journey with uniform velocity, then the slope of the velocity time graph will be in a straight line like this. Okay, the slope will be like this if you go through whole journey with uniform velocity. But if you are going with uniform acceleration, means your velocity is not uniform, your velocity is changing but in a constant rate. That will be the case of uniform acceleration. That will be like a straight line but in this direction. Here your u means initial velocity is this and final velocity will be this. Okay, and time will be this. Okay, this is the case of uniform acceleration. And now we will consider the case of non-uniform acceleration. Non-uniform acceleration's case will be of somewhat like jerks or anything on a straight line. Means like this. Its velocity is decreasing, increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing, increasing. Like, or we can understand like this. This is the graph for non-uniform acceleration. Okay. Now we can calculate displacement from velocity time graph. How? I am discussing here. Calculating displacement from velocity time graph. It is like this. Suppose you are going with uniform velocity. Here was time 1 and here is time 2. Okay, here is time 1 and this is time 2. I am writing somewhat small, you cannot understand. This is t1 and this is t2. Okay, now clear? So in this case our velocity is, in the first case our velocity is constant for the time t2 minus t1, this time interval, for this time interval, and we can calculate our displacement for this the given area. Okay, from this given area, this can be like, this is 0 or this can be u and this is v. Then our u is 0 and our starting velocity or initial velocity of the journey is v, which is final velocity. V starts from here, but if we start from there, our starting velocity will be u, which is like this. It is like this and it is like this. Its value will be t2 minus t1. Okay, t2 minus t1. And suppose it's a square, or you can suppose it's a rectangle, then u minus 0, or this is the, sorry, we can calculate here the area under the graph like this, t2 minus t1 for this side, t2 minus t1 into we can u, this length can be u, means initial velocity, which is u, then ut2 minus ut1. Okay, this will be your displacement, because if we see here, here is meter per second into 1 means into second minus meter per second into second, then second will be cancel each other, then meter minus meter is unit is meter of displacement. Then we can conclude here that we can calculate displacement from velocity time graph. Okay, now we will see that we can calculate acceleration also from velocity time graph. I am describing what is its method. Okay, like this. If the velocity is starting from 0 and going like this, then in this case acceleration is uniform, means constant rate of acceleration. So here this is the constant rate of acceleration. We will calculate that the slope of the velocity time graph gives the value of acceleration. Okay, the slope of the velocity time graph gives the magnitude or value of the acceleration, like this. This will be our u, means initial velocity, and this will be our v, which is final velocity. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is u and this is v. You are seeing now what will be its slope? The ratio of this and this will be its slope. Okay, t2 minus t1 will result in t, or somewhat like unit second. In second we are putting the ratio, so this is the line, and the upper numerator will be this, which whose unit will be meter per second. Okay, meter per second by second will be, see here, meter by second into 1 by second, which is meter per second square. The unit of acceleration means it will be the, if we put here the magnitudes, it will be the whole value of acceleration along with direction and unit. So finally we will come to speed time graph. What is speed time graph? Here the symbol v will denote speed and symbol t will denote time. We are going like this, means our speed is changing. Okay, our speed is changing with time. Okay, so here we can calculate distance. How? Okay, suppose that from starting from time 1 and with velocity or speed u, and reaching the velocity or speed v, and from time t1 to t2, the area under the graph will be like this. This is a triangle, so area of the triangle is half base into height. Yes or no? Then we will conclude that 1 by 2 into, this is the base and this unit is second, into height. This the height, means it will be the meter per second, means meter per second. Second will cancel each other, and meter by 2 will be meter, and meter is the unit of distance. If we put here the magnitude of all the speeds and time, then we will get the whole value of distance, means we will get also the magnitude. But here we are putting only units, then we will get only unit of distance. Okay, now we will describe the equation of motion and time for constant acceleration. Note that for constant acceleration. There are three equations of motion. First one is like 1 minute. Yes. First one, firstly we will draw a graph of velocity time graph. Okay, we have plotted the velocity time graph. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is time axis, and this is velocity axis. Now, suppose that we have gone through here to here. Okay, this is time 2 and this is time 1. Now we will see the first equation of motion. First equation of motion, which is final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus acceleration into time. And how we will get or derive this equation, I will explain this. Our u is initial velocity is here, final velocity is here. Then if we will go for the acceleration, then the slope of this will give us acceleration, which is, I have described it earlier, so I will not describing it in very explainful manner. V minus u by time. This will be the slope of this. Slope of velocity time graph will give acceleration is equal to acceleration. V is for final velocity, T is for time, U is for initial velocity, and A is for acceleration. Then from this we can conclude that V is equal to U plus AT. Okay, this is the first equation. V is equal to U plus AT. From velocity time graph, it has been derived. Okay, now we will see second equation in which we can find the displacement. Okay, we have to calculate area under this graph, means area under the velocity time graph, to derive the magnitude of displacement or the direction of displacement. Okay, so we are dividing this graph into two polygons. First one is rectangle, and second one is triangle. Triangle's area will be 1 by 2 into base into height. H is for height, okay? Plus, here you cannot see clearly, so I am writing it down. Okay? 1 by 2 into B into H. B is for base and H is for height. In addition to, this is the area under the triangle, and area under the rectangle will be T2 minus T1. Okay? T2 minus T1 into, this is the whole value of U. Okay? Like U. Then it will be, base is T2 minus T1. Here see that this base is T2 minus T1. So we can write here, and we will write here T2 minus T1. Okay, T2 minus T1. Then 1 by 2 into, this will be result in T, and height is this, means this is V, this is V final velocity, and this is U, V minus U. Height is V minus U. we will write it v minus u. Okay, here also plus, it will be result in time and it is u. Here is some mistake, 1 minute. 1 by 2 into base will be t2 minus t1, which result in t, and height will be v final velocity minus u by time. Okay, then this equation is ut plus ut is here half v minus u by t, we can write here a t square because of okay. So we have explained it. I am writing it ut plus half at square. This is our second equation of motion and time, which we have explained earlier. And the third and the last one equation of motion is as follows. We don't need graph to explain this. The third equation is the derivation from first and the second equation. First equation was v is equal to u plus at. Okay, and second is ut plus at square by 2. This is the first equation and this is the second equation. Now, if from this equation we can find the value of time, t is equal to v minus u by a. Okay, then we put the value of t in the terms of v minus u by a in this equation. That will be s is equal to u into v minus u by t. Okay, by t, not by a, or acceleration, plus a by 2 into v minus u by a square. We can write this as it is. So we can conclude from here. This will be okay. We can write this. Okay, from here we can write, I am simply telling you about the equation. I am not wasting your whole time. I will explain this third equation in my next video, because video is already of 34 minutes 5 seconds and you have to explain it in almost 30 minutes. We are over timing. V square minus u square is equal to 2as. Final velocity square minus initial velocity square is equal to twice acceleration into displacement. Okay, this is the third equation. We have gone through the whole equations of the motion and time. Now we will describe something of circular motion. In circular motion, velocity can never be uniform. You can ask how and why. Suppose this is the circular motion. First direction is going to this and this and this and this. Okay, there are numerous directions except this or including this, then we can conclude that direction is simultaneously or continuously changing. So if our direction changes, our velocity also changes. So here our velocity will change. The magnitude of velocity can constant in circular motion, but the velocity, because of direction changing, will not remain constant. So our total distance traveled will be 2 pi r, because of the circumference of circle, by time is equal to speed. Okay, is equal to speed, not velocity, because if in a circular motion we starting from the initial point and covering the whole circumference and come to that initial position, then our displacement will be 0. So we cannot determine from this equation velocity. This is the first equation, and from this we can derive this one. 2 pi r by velocity is equal to time. 2 pi r by velocity or speed is equal to time. Okay. Okay guys, we have completed our motion and time for class 9 part 2. If my videos help you, you can subscribe my channel and like my videos, and must not forget to ask doubts in the comment box. You can ask more doubts and the doubts which you have in the comment box. Okay guys, bye. Meet you in the next video. And as I have promised, I will explain the third equation of motion and time with proof in the next video. Okay guys, bye. See you again.